And now it's time for the Ask the Angry Ninja Show. Alright, guys, it's the Ask the Angry Ninja Show. What? I'm never gonna get tired of that button. I'm never. Nope, never. It makes me feel awesome. Okay, guys. Haven't watched anything new. Hopefully gonna catch the Multiverse of Madness, and we're talking about that shortly. But I did watch something old, and man, it brought back some memories. Cause I watched this back when it first happened, way back in the day, like rented it on video when it first came out. And it was UFC #1. Holy crap! I forgot how ridiculous the UFC used to be. And I mean ridiculous in that ridiculously awesome kind of way. So I watched the first one. Oh wow, for one, when you're watching it, ESPN Plus, they're not a sponsor, but you can get the ESPN Plus, and they have all the old stuff. It's great. And it's just amazing. Please, by all means, ESPN Plus. It's great. Okay, moving on. ESPN Plus. Wow. Yeah. Wait, hold on. ESPN Plus. There we go. Anyway, but UFC 1, so I'm watching it. I'm not going to go back watching. They have like the first 10. They have way more than that. They have the first 10 in order. So I'm going to watch them all. But the very first one, I had forgotten about this, was a tournament. It wasn't one fight, you're done, you fight once. No, to win, you had to fight 3 times that night to win. Like, so by the time he got to the last fight, dude was like, had a tooth stuck in his foot. He had a cut on his foot from a tooth. They had to remove the tooth. That's the guy that was in the final. He lost, but that's the guy that was in the final. Because in his first fight, this 215-pound dude who looked like he came straight from the trailer, but he wasn't. But this was kind of like bald-headed, real skinny, but a karate expert. His first fight, he fought a sumo wrestler, and he knocked the sumo wrestler to the ground, and before the sumo wrestler could get up, because everything was legal then, and there was no rounds. Like, the only rule they had was no eye gouging and no fish hooks. And eye gouging is when you really try to rip out somebody's eye, and a fish hooks where you put your finger in their mouth and try to rip the cheek open. Those were like the only 2 rules. Kicking in the nuts is legal. Everything else is illegal. So anyway, he knocks the sumo wrestler down, and when the sumo wrestler goes to get up, he just kicks him in the face. Like, roundhouse kicks him right in the face. And when he does that, the dude's tooth gets stuck in his foot. So he has a cut on his foot from this guy's tooth. This is great. And then Ken Shamrock's fight, because Ken Shamrock was in it, his first fight, he just did a leg lock on a dude. The guy didn't even know what a leg lock was. Like, it was ridiculous. Hoist Gracie, who is the man who won it all, because Hoist Gracie, if you follow UFC, you should know who Hoist Gracie is. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, this is one of the, this is it. One of the Gracies. And he won the UFC. But yeah, he's fighting a dude who had 1 boxing glove on because he was a boxer. And that fight, I don't think Hoist Gracie even did anything. He got on top of him. He had him in, would have been, the guy technically had him in a guard, but the guy didn't know what a guard was. He just kind of had his legs up like, please don't hurt me, and was laying on his back. And Hoist Gracie was maneuvering. He was going to try to get him in something, and the guy was a boxer. That's why he had 1 boxing glove on. And just kind of like, all right, look, I give up. I can't do anything. I'm on my back. I'm a puncher. And Hoist Gracie wasn't. So he won that fight like that. He choked out Ken Shamrock, and he choked out the last guy. Of course he did. It's Hoist Gracie. He chokes people. It's what he does. Hoist Gracie is amazing. But there was another fight. 2 great big dudes. Oh, and they were fighting, and you could just tell the no rounds thing, so no rest. Like, at one point, like, they've been going for a minute, and we're talking 250, 280 pound guys going at it. They got tired pretty fast, and it finally, like, the guy just kind of throws them down on the ground, real, like, you can tell the guy just like, okay, I'm tired, and then stomps his head into the mat. Like, he's laying on his side and just wham. I'm like, holy, they're just trying to kill people. Cause it wasn't against the rules. It was all loud. And yeah. And the ref, ooh, for UFC 1, This is before they brought in Big John McCarthy, who actually tried to keep people from getting hurt. Was literally watching the dude stomp this guy's head in. He got on the ground, it's not moving. The ref's just like, I have to wait for him to tap. Oh, and then the other guys, the guy getting his head stomped around, he finally, his corner threw in the towel. And they're like, oh, okay, I'll stop it now. Really? That's, oh man, it was great. This is before Joe Rogan's, like, the announcers didn't know what was going on. They're like, yeah, it's a tournament. We're going to fight. It's great. And they turned it into UFC what it turned into. It turned into an amazing thing. But when you go back and watch this, man, like, they just didn't care. And there were no rules. Like, groin shots legal, everything legal. It didn't happen in this one, but I do remember from watching them in the past that there's literally a fight where a dude removes a guy's cup, like pins him down, and just starts punching him in the dick until he taps. That happens in a fight. I'm like, that shouldn't be allowed. Oh, anyway, by all means, guys, if you need something to go back and watch and just to go, that's what they used to do? Really? That kind of makes me want to see them do it again. I want to see some of these modern fighters go with no time limit and see how long they go, with no rounds, and just fight till somebody wins. And that was the great thing about UFCs, the original UFCs and tournaments. You fought till you won, period. Like, the first fight that had a time limit, they went to the time limit, and it was crap. It was Ken Shamrock versus Royce Gracie, their big super fight rematch to declare who's the greatest. And Ken Shamrock's plan for that fight was to not lose. So literally what he did for the entire fight was got into Royce Gracie's guard and then laid on him. Didn't try to punch him, didn't try to do nothing, just laid on him for 30 minutes. And it was boring and horrible. And Ken Shamrock considered a win because Royce Gracie didn't tap him out. The only reason Royce Gracie didn't tap you out is you didn't do anything. You didn't try to win. You weren't trying to punch. You weren't fighting. You just like, I'm not going to get submitted, and I'm not going to try to win. I'm just going to lay here like a little bitch. And that's what Ken Shamrock did in that fight. So, by all means, when you get the one that's the UFC, that's Ken Shamrock versus Royce Gracie, the first super fight, don't even fucking bother. It ain't worth it. It's just not. Ken Shamrock sucks. That's one of the reasons I lost a lot of respect to Ken Shamrock as a fighter. Yeah, guys, go back. Watch these old UFCs. Get on the ESPN Plus. You will not regret it. Dude, it made my whole day. I'm going to probably get off here right now and watch UFC 2. Because eventually in one of these, you get to see one of my favorite fighters. Like, Royce Gracie's great, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu isn't the most exciting thing to watch. I respect it. It's hard, just not the most exciting thing to watch. But there's a fighter that comes in these, and if you follow UFC's or mixed martial arts, you might know his name. His name's Tank Abbott. And Tank Abbott was never the world's best grappler. He was never the world's greatest boxer. He was just a dude who wanted to knock you out. And that's the way he fought. When he was in good shape, man, his fights were awesome. When he was in bad shape, his fights were still kind of awesome, but he gassed out quickly and ended up losing. But that was his goal. He was going to take and punch you until you fell unconscious. And he didn't care about nothing else. He was actually the first fighter to start wearing the gloves that they use now, the black ones with the fingertips loose. He was the first one. And that's what, dude, he'd go in and he'd just wail on people. Like, I mean, he was probably going to end up winning one of the UFCs. And he broke his hand. Because, like I said, it's a tournament, multiple fights in one night, and he couldn't continue. And the guy who replaced him, I do believe, actually ended up winning. But I'm pretty sure if he hadn't broke his hand, he would have won that UFC. Tank Abbott's great. His fights were exciting. They weren't ever very long. They were exciting. And that's the kind of fights I liked watching. It's the kind of fights I like watching now. I mean, I love me a good submission game. And if you get in there, like Ronda Rousey fights tend to be exciting because she'd punch, throw you down, bam, submit you. It was fun. It's the long, outdrawn grappling matches that not a lot of action that kills me. Like the most recent Nunes fight, like, you're killing me, people. Hurt. You don't hurt somebody, but get in there and fight. I want somebody going in there and trying to win. Sorry, I get aggressive. Yeah. So we're gonna calm down the aggressive. Anyway, go back, watch the old UFCs, and then look at what the sport has turned into, and be amazed. Because remember, the first rules: you're not allowed to rip out somebody's eyes. What about anything else? Try not to rip their face off through their cheek. That'd be bad too. Okay, anything else? No, go ahead. You have fun with that. Okay. And they did. Oh my God. And no weight classes, by the way. Did I mention the 250-pound guy, 215-pound guy versus the sumo wrestler? No weight, just ass whoopings, top to bottom, left to right. Ass whoopings. It was great. And there had to be a winner. Other thing, I wish UFC, I hate judges. If you want to make it 5-minute rounds, make it 5-minute rounds, but make it an infinite amount of 5-minute rounds till somebody wins, period, or gives up. Like, no more, we're going to the judges now. F the judges. Take the judges out. 5-minute rounds, somebody wins. If that means a fight takes an hour, fight takes an hour. Somebody's going to win. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. All right, that was a horrible Macho Man. I'm going to stop now. I've had too much sugar. Sugar bad. All right, guys. It's Ask the Angry Ninja. You need to message me at cman2342, or you can hit me up on Gmail, asktheangryninja@gmail.com. You guys have a wonderful week. That's right. I hope everybody enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoy all the shows on the Ninja Podcast Network. Please check out our other shows. Ask the Angry Ninja Show, Angry Ninja Presents Not a Kid's Game, our D&D podcast, Chris Allen's Audio Stories, where I read some short stories to you that I wrote. Ninja and Moonshine, Middle of the Road podcast, guy from the left, guy from the right, coming together and trying to meet in the middle. Doesn't always work out like that. The Ninja News and Politics Show, Outrageous Stories with the Angry Ninja and the occasional special guest, and Sports Talk with Ninja and JMO. Those are the shows. If you want to reach out and contact me or anybody on any of the shows, you can reach me, and I'll pass on the message at cman2342 on Twitter, or an email, asktheangryninja@gmail.com, or just get on Facebook and search for the Ask the Angry Ninja Show, and we'll reach out and talk to you. We love questions. We'll answer your questions, any topics you want to cover, or hey, if you want to mail me a prize. I like prizes. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and have a wonderful night.